Hello everybody, my name is Zen and welcome back to more of our Wildstar beta coverage. In this video we're going to be looking at one of the two Dominion starter zones, which is called Crimson Isle. This is the first of the two and the second one will be coming out shortly. But with that being said, let's see the little intro video leading right out from the actual, like tutorial area is what I call it.
Landing craft BZ-3, you have been cleared for departure. You are reminded that any Elven technology on the surface of Nexus is the property of the Emperor. Allowing it to fall into exile hands is punishable by death. Do enjoy your flight.
Energy shield detected. Infestation of Crimson Isle is unacceptable! Send on no more minions. Exiles must be vaporized! Armando will never get energy shield for himself.
Yeah, let's just be honest with each other. The Chua are quite crazy, which is who is doing the narration there. However, this is the first of the two Dominion starting zones, as I was saying, and there are two spots to come into all of these starting zones. This one is the western, shelf area. There's also a southern beach head, which is pretty cool. And like all of the starter zones for this, they all have two areas to come in at. So don't be discouraged if you're separated from your friends at first. It may happen. The first two quests that you get here are to disable mines, as you see me doing. I'm also doing a little path quest there. Don't worry about that. But the other thing is to kill these scorpions and then move on. I end up doing this quest fairly quickly, as you might imagine, and go and meet up with Garrick, who I was questing with at this time, and we then move on to killing robots, which have a bit more abilities than we've seen thus far. It's kind of cool that the zone constantly is progressing you and teaching you how to play a little better. There's quite a few path quests in this area if you didn't do yours back down on the beach. I mean, it kind of changes based on the path, but then you have to free these captives by jumping into them. I mean, it makes sense. What are you gonna judge the logic there? I don't think so. It makes perfect sense. You also have to disable these generator things. Overall, pretty basic questing concepts here. Really nothing too crazy. But then we do get to go into a crazy area shortly after you do all these generators. But I figured I'd mention this because we haven't really seen it too much. And in case you've missed some of our other videos, there are callouts for kills.
Double kill.
Yes, that does happen constantly as you're doing battle, and it's awesome. So you get double kill, triple kill, super kills. It just keeps going, and it's awesome. I love the voiceover. It actually makes the combat feel more, I guess, visceral in strange ways, because you are getting the callouts when you know that you're getting these awesome kills. And I've said it before. I said it in the overview video. The game goes out of its way to make you feel awesome. And I love it when games do that. It makes you feel like the people who are developing the game actually like playing games. Which is it's a strange, novel concept, but it makes a big difference in the way the game actually plays, especially with its combat. So you finish these quests off, then you get this other one where you're like, oh, this is boring. It's just follow the creepy green cloud. But that's not all, because the creepy green cloud actually gives you a jump buff, which allows you to get up into certain areas. And this gives you a little bit of a taste of what the explorers get to do as far as their path quests are concerned. It's kind of cool. You get to jump all the way up here, and your double jump does work, so don't double jump your way off the edge. Just be careful with it. You turn in the quest, pretty easy. Then it gives you, thankfully, a thing to allow yourself to fall very slowly. Otherwise, you'd be falling very quickly and you would die, because that is quite the drop. But it does allow you to fall without taking damage, which I like. This is also where you're able to buy your new abilities, train, and, sell. But once you are out of that area, you go down the road a bit and you turn into this quest, which is a spider quest. I hate spiders, I hate bugs, which is why we're going to murder them. So you're going to come through here and you're just going to viciously destroy them. There's a challenge that goes along with this. It is a little difficult at the moment in beta. It's worth mentioning that all of this stuff in beta is subject to change, so if this is not as difficult on the live servers, it's because feedback was gotten by them, which is really cool. But you come through, you do all this fun stuff, you kill the spiders, and you free the people from the spider egg sac things, which is disgusting. As I said, I hate bugs. So, it's a bit of vengeance being able to go through and destroy these, whilst having the announcer guy call out double kill and stuff. I wish that would happen in real life. You squash a bug, you squash another one, it's like double kill. You're like, yes, that's the best thing ever. There's also the spider queen over here, I should mention. You kill her and you get a skull from her, or it's a tooth or something, a mandible, I don't know. What do spiders have? And with that, you're able to pick up yet another quest, which gets you more stuff. I should mention that the challenge actually ends up getting you either a bag, a piece of food, which gives you a buff, and potions, so health potions, which none of that sounds too exciting except for the bag, which gives you more inventory space. But you turn that in, and you're able to move on with your life. I think you do get a new item out of that whole quest as well, so it's worth it. With that being said, you move up north here, and you just kind of continue on with this quest that you had previously. This quest actually leads you down to the spider quest, and then you can continue it on from here. You don't actually have to finish that quest right away. You just go straight into the spiders as a pro tip, and then continue on the quest from here. You move up into this next area, which actually gets you more of your past quests. So there's an explorer quest that's more to the west, and there's also kind of a big baddie that you could kill. We didn't do it in this run, but you can do him for a quest, which is pretty easy. You just walk up there, there'll be like a dead cow. You click on the dead cow, you get a quest to kill the big baddie. You'll see the big baddie up the hill. You kill him, you get an awesome weapon that'll last you for quite a while, it's awesome. I love when that kind of stuff happens. You're able to take a big boss, he gives you an awesome item, and then you feel accomplished. But around here, you basically just run around killing these guys. There is another challenge that goes along with killing these guys. I feel like it's a bit easier to do. It's not super easy, but it is a bit easier to do than the other one. And like I said, there are the path quests. So for scientists, I'm doing ones where I have to scan the people, but there is also soldier quests around, and that explorer one to the west. Plus, you're doing settler stuff, and, there's just a lot to do in this area. It feels very spread out there. There's a lot of mobs to go around, especially if you see where the majority of people are grouping, and then you move on with your life. You go to a different area where there maybe aren't so many people, so you can get to your fair share of kills, which, as a tip, does help complete the challenge a lot quicker. There is another quest up over here, aside from picking up these explosives, which is what we're doing, which is a roasting chua, which in my opinion is the best kind of chua, but I shouldn't say that as being a primary Dominion player at the moment. The chua are my allies, even though I would like to roast them sometimes like they do. But you get a quest from this chua, allows you to burn down these huts, and then with burning down the huts, that moves on, kind of up the ways north, so you can continue the quest going up north. There's a lot more huts up that way, and with other people in your group, you should get done pretty quickly. But if you're running solo, just be aware that there will be other people running around, and you're gonna have to get this stuff done fairly quickly. Spread out, like I said. Go to the north. There's a lot of stuff to the north that people don't necessarily know that are there for new players, so it's kind of thinned out a bit on player density, which is always good. That just helps you level quicker. And in this game, where leveling is kind of slow, at least at the moment in the beta, you really want to get it done as quickly as possible and just kind of be as efficient as you possibly can. More path stuff up here once you get high enough. There is like an area around the beach that if you're an explorer, you'll want to have explored, which helps you finish your path quests off for the entire zone. Very important to know. And the last part is when you're going into, this whole thing, finishing it off, it may take the majority of what I think is the time in this zone spent is that small area. Eventually you move up north to these anti-aircraft guns, which you have to click on and spam F to destroy. Naturally, I think any anti-aircraft gun is susceptible to having F spammed on it. And more path stuff up here, if, depending on what path you're running, obviously. There's also a couple other quests that you can pick up and do. So it's not entirely difficult to get all this stuff done. In fact, it's pretty easy, this zone. You'll only be in this area that I'm in currently for a few minutes. It won't take you very long. There's 3 anti-aircraft guns. There's one off right ahead of me, up the scaffolding. There's some of the scaffolding that we're going up here. These are little ramps. And then there's one that I started on over, to my right there. You didn't see the first one because I had cut that out of the footage. You didn't need to see me getting all 3 of these. But it does lead into a nice little cinematic movie thing.
Firing upon exile positions. I have direct hits on multiple targets.
Good shooting, Stinger One. Now, let's finish them off.
What the bloody hell is that thing? Destiny, are you reading this?
So yeah, that's a giant evil robot we get to go destroy kind of thing. There's a story behind that, but once again, I'm not going to spoil it all for you. I'd rather you play it and enjoy it yourself, right? Which is why I'm not really showing much further than the starter zones, because I want you to, get an idea for what the game is like, and the starter zones do a pretty good job of that. They don't give you a full idea, but they give you a pretty good idea. And then once you're able to, get through these and start enjoying it, I think you'll get hooked and you'll just kind of stick with it. So honestly, experience the rest of the game for yourself. You'll get a little bit of spoilers here and there for these, but not massive ones. I'm not going to go into intricate detail on the story. Then again, I do the whole questing trope thing that you see in like these hotkey-based MMOs that don't have, say the Star Wars version of questing, where I just kind of skip through a lot of the dialogue. However, I have read a lot of this because it is pretty intriguing. The story is quite good. It's a new IP. I mean, you better absorb as much of the story as you can, because it's going to be good, especially the design that they have going on here. I don't think there's any question in anybody's mind that the story's good. Either way, you move up, you kill a ton of these guys in this area, and then you get to this public event, which is destroying this giant robot. So you light this fuel on fire, and then suddenly you have to defeat waves and waves and waves and waves of enemies, which is really, really fun, because it gives you, break to the monotony of just running around doing quests. It actually focuses on the best part of the game here for these public quests, and most of the end, of these starter zones have these public quests going on, right? Where you have to kill like a big baddie, and you get either epic loot for it, or it finishes off the story arc. Whatever happens, it's really fun to be able to do it, either alone or with other people. All of this is easily soloable, but it does help to have other people, certainly, because you have to go through quite a bit of waves of enemies, as you're seeing here. There's a lot of stuff to be dodging, which is fun because the entire zones leading up to this, the tutorial zone, and then the entire zone previous to doing all of this is kind of I guess it's prepping you for what's about to come, with all of the stuff that you're going to have to dodge here in the public event, and then defeating the robot himself for this specific zone, which the robot's not too difficult. You'll burn him down pretty quickly, but it's a lengthened event, which I think is really fun. You finish it off, you kill the robot, right? Then you're able to pretty much clean out the entire zone, leave, and move on to the next spot, which is also very cool, but we won't be showing you in great detail this week. Maybe in the future, just not this week. I'd rather have you guys experience that for yourself, as I had said. But let's view this little thing and then sign out.
Need assistance to gather more data. You will launch drones and satellites and... Wait, are you flying away?
So I hope that gives you a pretty good idea of what Crimson Isle's all about. We'll give you a taste of the next zone, but on that note, we shall see you guys next time.